Good morning, everybody, and thank you for taking some time out of your day to join us here. My name is Isaiah Dawes. I'm a senior annuity sales associate here at IMES. I am joined today by Bill Gaffney from Lincoln Financial Group, and we have some really fantastic information that we're going to be sharing with you today. We're really excited to get to all of that. Especially about their Roth conversion strategy and some highlights of their FIAs. But before we get into all that, we do have some items that we're going to talk about today as to why agents love working with us over here at IMES. If at any time throughout the presentation you've got a question, go ahead, pop it in that questions box. You don't necessarily have to wait till the end, but we'll be sure to get all those questions answered for you. We'll also have 3 poll questions for you here today, and we'd love to have your participation on those. We've changed up the questions quite a bit, so if you're a repeat attender, we do have some different questions on there for you. So when you call over to us here at IMES at 800-255-5055, remember you're always going to get a live person. You'll never have to deal with the dial by name directory, and that's just one of the ways that we kick off our best-in-class customer service, making sure that we answer that phone with somebody, and maybe it's the person you're calling for, but if not, they're going to get you transferred right over to get you taken care of. So let's get into it here. A few reasons why agents love working with us, starting off with our new producer builders program. This is for those of you who are new to IMES. These bonuses are available based on your production level in your first 180 days of contracting with us. We do have different levels that you can qualify at, and as you can see inside each level are some really great options for you. We've got incredible business building tools, personal perks for you, and even cash rewards available. So if you would like to know where you stand towards your new producer builder, or if you'd like to have a conversation about how to achieve the next level, please just give us a call here. We'd be happy to chat with you about that. Another business builders program that we offer to our agents is our referred producer program. I do see a couple advisors on with us today that have already taken advantage of this. Our business on the wholesale side of the industry is similar to yours in the field in that one of the best leads we can ever obtain is a referral from one of our valued producers. This is why we want to make it worth your while to refer a producer to us. So when you refer a producer and they get contracted, we're going to cut you a $50 thank you check. But where the real money comes in is as your referral writes business, you're going to receive an override on that business. Our ownership team, Charles, Steve, Curtis, and Chris, sign checks for thousands of dollars every quarter. This is one of their favorite checks to sign out to our producers. So if you can think of anyone that could benefit from doing business with our team, please feel free to type their information into that questions box, or you can certainly email me with their information. We'd be happy to help get them set up. Below the referred producer program is our marketing reimbursement program, which is the most popular program that we offer here at IMES. For every $100,000 in FIA premium that you write with us, you're going to get $100 into your marketing reimbursement account. And why this is so popular and lucrative for our advisors is that we truly do consider this to be your money. You have the flexibility on what services, when, and who to use these funds with. It's your marketing reimbursement. We don't tell you the vendors that you have to use. We may recommend vendors that we partner with and leverage reduced rates and preferred service, but we also have our creative team here to create a marketing strategy and provide in-house services. So if you'd like to know how much is in your marketing reimbursement account or have a conversation about how to utilize it, just give your sales director a call here at our office. We'd be happy to speak with you about that. Next up, our back office support team is another way that we add value to your business. This is a core value of IMES and how Charles Hiring founded IMES years ago. We want to help the independent advisor work smarter, not harder. And we're going to do that with our great business building tools and resources, and of course, our advanced case design assistance. We'll assist with life insurance and annuity quotes for you. We're going to get those out to you within 24 hours, but realistically, you'll probably receive it much quicker, usually within the hour. Submission to commission support is handled by our new business teams. We got Mackenzie on the annuity team and Michelle on the life side. They have fantastic teams who work tirelessly every day to help you get commission quicker. We're also going to scrub applications for you, submit them on your behalf, and do the administrative tracking and get you updates on those cases as needed. We do this to ensure that you get commissioned as quickly as possible. So this is a service that we provide to all of our valued producers, and it's a way that we help you grow your business by keeping you in front of clients while our team handles that back office support for you. Our IMS website is a great tool for our producers to use and another reason to work with us over here at IMS. Once you're contracted, you're going to get access to everything you see on this slide, and there's a whole lot more at imsinc.com. If you haven't registered for our website, it's very simple to do so. So when we're done with this call, go ahead and create an account. We'd love to see you active on there. There's a lot of great resources that are available to you, including illustration tools, online forums, product grids, news, and industry updates are all out there for you. So obviously, as everyone knows, technology is where our industry is going, and Luma Firelight is a partnership that we utilize to streamline the application process. Most of our carriers are now on our Luma Firelight e-platform, so you can go onto one site to submit business. Some carriers are going to e-app only for some of their product lines, and will also offer extra comp for utilizing the e-app platform. So be sure to ask your sales director before you submit a paper app, because you can earn extra money by just completing and submitting it through the e-app. Another thing that's great about Luma is their life cycle feature. It allows you to track and stay up to date on any business that you have written through Luma. So it's a great way to just keep track of your business, existing book of business there as well. As I mentioned earlier, we do have an in-house creative team. They have turnkey items available out there for you, and many of our sales resources are white labeled, so we can just impose your contact information and your logos on it. Speaking of logos, if you haven't created a fully customized brand for your agency, we can certainly help with that through our agency solution. We recognize that growing your natural market organically depends on name recognition, and digital marketing solutions are a very popular topic around here at IMS. So we can help you with websites, official media, social media marketing, email marketing, and a ton more. The internet and social media sites are where the overwhelming majority of prospects go to for information. So making sure you're accessible and represented in those marketing lanes is very beneficial to growing your business. You can reach out to your sales director after the webinar concludes to talk about how you can access the IMS creative team, and we can certainly get that ball rolling for you. We do also offer a complimentary marketing analysis for agents looking to explore new sales ideas and programs, whether you're new to the industry or a seasoned producer. It's a free assessment that can help boost your business with insights on your website, digital presence, branding, and current marketing activities. We also go into recommendations on trusted vendors for everything from lead generation to seminars and social content. So if you haven't taken advantage of this already, definitely reach out to your sales director to get that scheduled. Next, I want to talk about IMS Wealth Management. This is our sister company that's an RIA. This was founded almost 10 years ago now, and there's two different divisions to it. So for those of you that have your Series 65, obviously you can utilize them for your assets under management, but for those of you that don't want to get your securities license, whether you're at the end of your career or you just never wanted to go down that direction, you can refer your clients over to our wealth management team to assist with the securities portion of the sale while you handle them on the insurance side. The way you look at it is kind of when you go into a home for a potential annuity sale, say they maybe have $500,000 in assets, but only about $300,000 they want to put into annuity or is suitable for an annuity. If you aren't doing something with that other $200,000, you're leaving the door open for another advisor to come in and potentially steal that client. So we wanted to have a solution for you with our IMS Wealth Management team. We actually had one advisor that was working with our wealth management team while he was studying for his Series 65. By the time he passed his exam, he had about $8 million in assets under management, and that was all transferred over to him by the time he got that license. So we wanted to have a solution for you on all sides of the business, and that is a great way for us to just help you serve your clients in every aspect. Next up, our life and annuity academies. We do about 4 or 5 of these a year. Going to be at our home office here in Omaha. We're actually getting all these planned out. So you'll probably be hearing from us shortly advertising these life and annuity academies coming up for 2026. What it is, we usually bring out about 30 to 35 agents for a 2-day workshop, and it's not going to be life insurance 101 or annuities 101. So if you're brand new to the industry, this may not be for you, but we do cover a wide range of topics, including sales strategies from some of our top producers that they've found to be successful, marketing strategies with some of our vendor partners, as well as presentations from a couple carrier partners on their products and service levels and things of that nature. Really what I find to be the most valuable thing for a lot of producers is just the networking that you get from this event, being able to rub elbows with 30 other people that are out there doing the same things as you, or trying to reach the same kinds of goals as you, hearing what they're doing that's worked, maybe hearing what hasn't worked for them, and being able to avoid that situation. But just being able to network and understand what other people are doing in the industry to help you grow your business. So definitely keep an eye out for our emails, and we'll be doing some marketing calls and things like that for our annuity or Life and Annuity Academy events, coming up here in 2026. From there, I will go ahead and pass it off to Bill with Lincoln Financial. He's got some great topics to cover for us today regarding Roth conversions and their FIAs. So, Bill, I'm making you a presenter. The floor is yours.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. As Isaiah mentioned, I am Bill Gaffney. I am the sales vice president with Lincoln Financial on the annuity side. Truly appreciate the partnership with IMES and them having me on the call today. A few of the things that we are going to discuss is our simplified Roth IRA conversion process. But first, I wanted to get into a few other topics that have been resonating with some of my top advisors as well. So really, that's going to be the back end of the conversation. We're going to focus on three things today: locking in growth, locking in rates, and then locking in taxes with that simplified Roth IRA conversion process. But I'm going to go ahead, shut off my camera, share my screen, and hopefully I do this correctly. Isaiah, please let me know if we are not on the correct screen here. But one thing I did want to make sure we cover today is our market intel exchange piece. So this is something that our investment desk here at Lincoln puts a ton of time and effort in to working with some of the biggest fund partners in the world to put together data insights and just timely market updates. I've had my top advisors say that this is the best thing Lincoln does.
Hey,
Now,
Bill, real quick, you just want to hit hide on that. There's a little hide link that you can hit on that bad
yeah,
boy. Yep.
Appreciate it. So again, this is something we work with some of the biggest fund partners in the world on: BlackRock, Fidelity, you name it. They all have a say in this piece. Now, this is an 80-page document that we have here available at Lincoln, but I have the ability to trim it down to make it a shorter version and focus on really what we want to discuss here today. So I always like to share this slide first, right? We asked individuals, I should say high net worth individuals, what their main focus is for retirement moving forward here. And you're going to see the number one and number two answer is wealth preservation and tax minimization. And that is exactly what we are going to discuss today. So you are on the right call to focus on what these individuals are looking for and needing as they gear up and enter retirement. So locking in growth, right? So we've all heard about this America's Peak 65 milestone. We have more individuals retiring in this country than ever before. Also, these individuals that are retiring, their 401ks are at all-time highs, right? We have more 401k millionaires in this country than ever before. We have more unprotected equity at $72 trillion in this country than ever before. So that goes back to how I just started this conversation, right? We want to find ways to lock in growth. I always like to ask a simple question. How many of these 401k millionaires want to stay 401k millionaires? That's a rhetorical question, right? It's all of them. So we're trying to find a place where we can lock in growth that we've seen over the past decade in the market, but also continue to see growth as they, get ready to enter the retirement years. So there's a couple different ways we can do that. A fixed indexed annuity, I find to be the best way, because if you do take a look at cash, of course, that's a way to protect your growth that you've seen in the market. However, if you take a look at the odds of cash underperforming, they're very high. If we take a look at maybe 5 or 7 year periods, comparing cash to the S&P 500 dating back to 1940, the amount of times that cash is going to underperform during a 5-year rolling period is 80%, 7-year rolling period, 90%. And how much on average cash underperforms the market itself is rather staggering. You're going to notice on those 7-year rolling periods, cash underperforms by about 95%. So again, cash is a way to protect our clients' assets. However, they're not going to see the growth that they're looking for and can receive in a fixed indexed annuity. All right, so let's look at another way that we can lock in the tremendous growth that our clients have been seeing in the market over the past decade. All right, CDs. Well, if we actually take a look at what's the real return of a 12-month CD, once you include in taxes and inflation, the real return after taxes and inflation going back to 2005, there's only been 4 years where CDs actually has a positive return, right? So let's go to our third option, a fixed indexed annuity, right? So with Lincoln's OptiBlend, not only are we going to protect your clients' 401ks, but we're also going to be able to continue seeing growth amongst that fixed indexed annuity, specifically OptiBlend. So I want you to remember this slide because really I'm going through the opportunity first, and then I'm going to provide a solution on the back end of this conversation. But this chart is great. It goes back to 1928, and it simply looks at the years in which the S&P 500 was positive versus the years in which the S&P 500 had negative returns. 27% of the time, going back to 1928, the S&P 500 has been negative. But what my top advisors do when discussing this with their clients is say, don't worry about this. Lincoln's OptiBlend fixed indexed annuity is going to provide 100% downside protection. Of the 73% of the time that the S&P 500 has been positive, it falls between 0 and 10%. But the remaining time that the S&P 500 is positive, we're seeing very strong returns of 10 to up to 30%. And I want you to remember those numbers because, again, Lincoln's OptiBlend is going to help you capture this opportunity with a robust amount of S&P 500 strategies. So if we take a look at our OptiBlend rate sheet, as I mentioned, 27% of the time, the market is negative. All right, so we're fully protected. You're going to have a positive client review during those years. When we're seeing modest returns of the S&P 500, we mentioned 15% of the time, it falls between 0 and 10%. Well, those years where we are seeing 1-2% returns, we have a S&P 500 performance trigger that's actually going to provide you of up to 7.5%. So again, years where the market's modest, we're going to again provide a positive client review to you folks by outperforming the index itself with our performance trigger. Because really how this trigger works is if the market is flat or positive at all, we're going to credit the client's account the numbers that you see here today. Those years where we are seeing 10, let's say 11, 12% returns, we're going to be able to capture a ton of that upside as well, because now we have a 1-year S&P 500 cap. So those years where we are seeing 10, 11% returns, oh, I'm not an artist, I apologize there, but we're going to be able to capture up to 9% of that upside. Again, a positive client return, or positive client review, as I should say. And then lastly, as I mentioned, most of the time the market's performing very well, right? We've seen it over the last couple of years. We've seen it over the past decade, where the market can see 25, 24% returns. And now we have a 1-year S&P 500 par rate that's going to capture, up to 55% of that. So when we are seeing these 30% returns, 30% or more, we're going to be able to credit the client's account 15, 16%, and that's done with no risk and no fee. So we spoke about it. We have more 401k millionaires in this country than ever before. We have more unprotected equities in this country than ever before at $72 trillion. So we need to find a way to lock in the growth that these folks have seen. And this is really, in my opinion, the best way to do so with a fixed indexed annuity that's going to protect that growth and also provide additional growth throughout retirement, outperforming CDs and cash. So we spoke about locking in growth. The next thing I want to discuss quickly is locking in rates. So we've seen it over the past year, and we are going to continue to see it according to the Fed here in 2026, but we're starting to see the Fed cut rates, right? And we're expecting another one here shortly in 2026. What we know is when the Fed starts cutting these rates, cash yields fall and fixed indexed annuity rates can follow shortly after. So to build some urgency, we have a great strategy blending our 1-year S&P 500 trigger lock, our 1-year S&P 500 cap lock, and our 1-year multi-year, or I'm sorry, I should say our multi-year S&P 500 par rate. What you'll notice about this strategy is 2/3 is traditional S&P 500, right? So it's a household name. The other thing you'll notice about this strategy is if you have had tough conversations around renewal rates in the past, this strategy eliminates that conversation, because these rates on a 5 or 7-year contract are going to stay the same throughout the length of that 5 or 7-year contract. So we don't have to worry about renewals. We don't have to worry about losses, and we can provide predictability to the client. They know exactly what contract they're purchasing and what their rates will be. So again, this trigger is going to help during modest market returns. Cap lock will help during years where the S&P is seeing 7, 8%. And this multi-year par rate is very interesting because we're going to be able to capture 80% of the upside of the S&P 500 over the next 7 years.
Hey, Bill, real quick, a couple questions in the chat here. Are these crediting strategies, they're all charge-free, correct?
Yes, everything is no risk, no fee.
Perfect. And then another one, so the options for clients are fixed and S&P 500 only?
Well, that's actually a great question and really where I was going. So we have a robust amount of S&P 500 strategies, and hopefully this answers your question. But one thing that I did want to mention, and really where we've been seeing a ton of success, is Lincoln launched the first ever actively managed ETF available on a fixed indexed annuity. So this is the Capital Group Dividend Value ETF. we partnered with one of the best partners in the world with Capital Group. They have $3.2 trillion in assets under management and have been around for about 96 years. This ETF is a 5-star gold rating on Morningstar and has seen tremendous growth over the past couple of years. You'll notice we're able to get 55% of that on a 10-year. Last year, this index performed 25% on the upside, outperforming the S&P 500 by 8%. So if we were to have a 55% par on this index last year, we would have credited your client 14%. And again, that is done with no risk, no fee. So I hope that helps with the question at hand. Yes, we have a tremendous amount of S&P 500 strategies, but we also have, ways to diversify with the S&P 500 itself.
Awesome. And then just another question that popped in there that I can answer. Yes, I will be sending around a recording of this webinar with the presentation and these slides that he's going through here. So that'll all be sent out later today.
And just to kind of reiterate on that question, we do have client approved material when it comes to CGDV, this new actively managed ETF available with 100% protection. Annualized returns since March of 2022, around 15.5%. And you'll notice that outperformed the S&P 500 annualized returns by about 3%. So again, great question. Happy you brought it up. But I know we're getting towards time here, Isaiah, if I'm correct. But I did want to go through the Roth conversions because we mentioned lock-in growth. We mentioned the strategy to lock in rates. And now I want to discuss locking in taxes, right? So going back to Market Intel Exchange, just a few slides I want to touch base on that I set up with my advisors when it comes to Roth conversions. This first one, don't want to scare anyone, but this is just a visualization of the U.S. national debt. I like to see things in pictures sometimes. It just helps me learn. But if this square is 1 billion, we need 38,000 of those squares to visualize the U.S. national debt, which right now is at $38 trillion. U.S. national debt levels, this chart is showing historical debt levels as a percentage of GDP and where Congressional Budget Office expects it to go through 2055. All right, so in 2024, we're at 98%. The Congressional Budget Office projection is 156% by the year 2055. Lastly, even just this slide, a lot of my advisors use to discuss Roth conversions. You take a look dating back to 1913, top marginal individual federal tax rates through 2026, the median is 54%. So although folks think we are in a high tax bracket at 37% right now, that's almost 20% below the median. So if I show you these 3 slides and I ask you where you expect taxes to go moving forward, I bet a lot of you and your clients will say up, right? We're going to see taxes increase. And that's why we've been having a ton of conversations around Roth IRA conversions. We can convert to a Roth, pay the taxes now while they're on sale, and lock those in. And when it comes to Roth conversions, I want you to think of Lincoln because we have simplified this process. I like to say, and again, this is a great client approved piece that we can send out post call, but I like to say our conversion process is 1, 2, 3. It's as simple as that. 1, we only need 1 application to do so, and all you have to do is check a box. So you'll notice this on all Lincoln applications. Roth IRA partial conversion, all you do is check this box, and then you're going to indicate how much you want to start the Roth IRA with right here. We have a $5,000 minimum, but really you can choose with your client how much you want to start the Roth with. And that's it. Once you check that box, you're going to indicate to Lincoln that the purpose of this contract is for a Roth IRA conversion. Number two, we will create two contracts, and they are going to mirror each other and come out of surrender on the same date. All right. Now we have the two contracts. One's going to be the IRA. Again, I apologize about my art here with a mouse. And one's going to be the Roth, right? We'll just call it R for now. From there, you have complete flexibility with your client to convert however much you want from the IRA to the Roth whenever you want. All right, so again, 1, 2, 3, right? That's as simple as it gets. One application, check this box. It's going to indicate to Lincoln that the purpose of this is for a Roth conversion. From there, you're going to have two contracts with two contract numbers coming out of surrender on the same date. You can convert however much you want from the Roth from the IRA, I'm sorry, to the Roth IRA whenever you want. It's a simple form that you're going to fill out and indicate to Lincoln, again, two contract numbers, how much you want to move from the IRA to the Roth contract. There's no additional applications needed. There is no, other contracts created. So I did want to go through that very quickly. Isaiah, how are we looking on time here? And is there any other questions that I can answer at this point?
Yeah, we still got plenty of time here. We blocked off a full hour for this. Do have some questions, and real quick, while we're answering some of those, I'm going to go launch a couple of polls. This first one, just asking if you're open to a brief call to learn more about how Lincoln's FIAs can report your retirement income strategies. Just launched that for you there. Go ahead and please feel free to participate in that. We'd love your feedback. One of the questions, Bill, was, are these crediting strategies, are they set it and forget it or not?
So that's a great question. Going back to my rate sheet here, it depends on which crediting strategies that you choose. So we showed you a great strategy that has been working well for us, which is our no renewal blend strategy. So these locked strategies, you're going to see lock, or multi-year par, those are set it and forget it, right? Those rates are going to be guaranteed for the 5 or 7 year durations here. To go back to your question, some of them aren't though. So let's say this year you have a strong feeling about the S&P 500 par. So you go into this strategy this year trying to capture a ton of the S&P 500. However, next year, maybe you feel the market can be bearish. You can actually reallocate after the contract anniversary from a 1 year S&P 500 par to maybe a fixed account where you'll be able to get guaranteed rates during that year, or a performance trigger. If you think there's going to be modest returns, then we can move those assets from the par to the trigger and try to capture with that. So yes, there is the ability to reallocate, but we also do have locked in strategies that are set it and forget it. We see a ton of flows going into this multi-year par. So this would be a set it and forget it strategy. Really, with this par rate, nothing credits till the end of that 7 year window. We all know the past 7 years of the S&P 500 have been performing tremendously. Capturing 80% of that with a no risk, no fee strategy is a very strong story. So Isaiah, I hope that answers the question, because really we have both set it and forget it strategies, as well as the ability to reallocate throughout the life of the contract.
Awesome. Awesome. I'll go ahead and close out this poll here real quick. Thank you for those that participated there. I'm going to go ahead and launch one more while we answer another question. Asking if you'd like access to Lincoln's Roth conversion planning tools and client-ready materials. Go ahead and feel free to participate there. As far as PowerPoint on Roth conversions, we do have those resources available for you here at IMES. You can certainly reach out to your sales director or myself to get you equipped with those. Another question that we have is, so the Roth conversion could be fully done within a few years, 3, 5, etc. Is that right?
That is correct. Yeah. So one of the things that's great about Lincoln is you can start year one, right? So year one, you can, let's say, I kind of want to go back to my example here, but this is, an interesting way that Matt did it. And I think this is going to help you with that question is, in our example for our client guide, we have Matt who has $1 million in his 401k. And what he did was purchase a Lincoln OptiBlend fixed indexed annuity. And he started his Roth with $100,000 year one. From there, each year, he converted an additional $100,000. He did this 9 additional times to the point where at the end of his contract, when he was out of surrender with Lincoln's OptiBlend fixed indexed annuity, that $1 million was completely tax-free. Going back to your question, could he have purchased an OptiBlend 10 and converted 200,000 each year and been done year 5? Absolutely. And I think that goes back to why our Roth conversion process is so powerful, because it is complete flexibility. So I hope that answers your question. I know that was a lot, but the simple answer is yes.
Perfect, perfect. And some more good responses on that poll, so I'll end that for us here. And then any other questions that anybody has, now's the time to get them in here. Just have one more poll left to launch that I'll get going. If you're interested in getting started on contracting with Lincoln, we'd be happy to help you out with that. So go ahead and respond to that poll there. And any additional questions that you have for Bill while we have him on the call, please be sure to shoot those in the questions box while this poll is going here. Bill, is there anything else that maybe we didn't get to that you wanted to cover? We do still have plenty of time here.
One other slide that I briefly skimmed through when I was going in locking in growth, right? So going back to Market Intel Exchange, again, this is a piece that JP Morgan put together for us, trying to blow it up so we can all see. But S&P investing at all-time highs. So in 2025, we saw 39 new all-time highs in the S&P 500. And I'm sure you as advisors are getting that question from clients. Well, the market's been performing so well over the past decade, specifically over the past 3 years. Are we going to see a correction here in the near future? Do you see a bear market here in the near future? Well, when it comes to fixed indexed annuities, you're right either way, right? Because with a fixed indexed annuity, we're providing 100% protection. So if we do see a correction here in the near future, you're going to get a pat on the back because you're protecting your clients and you've locked in the growth that they've seen in their 401ks. However, of those 30-time highs that the market hit, all-time highs in 2025, I should say, 30% of the time that all-time high actually acted as a floor. So that bull market continued. And going over to here, 1988 to December 31, 2025, investing at a new high on 1, 2, 3, and 5-year rolling periods is actually better than investing on any other day. So if we do continue to see this bull run, we went through it, right? Lincoln Financial has a ton of S&P 500 strategies that are going to help you capture that growth. However, if we do see that correction that I'm sure many of your clients are concerned about, we'll also be able to provide protection on the downside. So I wanted to go through this piece. I find it very interesting. It comes directly from JP Morgan themselves. And I think fixed indexed annuities really provide a solution regardless of where the market is moving going forward here. Specifically Lincoln's OptiBlend, because again, the robust amount of S&P 500 solutions. And I do want everyone to go ahead after this call and just do a Google research on Capital Group Dividend Value ETF. Again, gold rating, 5-star with Morningstar. Performance has been tremendous. You can Google that and also find out on a few websites such as ETF.com. It's ranked as one of the top rated ETFs to buy in 2026. So the ticker there is CGDV. I'm going to embarrass myself again. CGDV. Google that, and you're going to find a ton of great information on that actively managed ETF that's available with Lincoln. I should have just circled this rather than embarrassing myself with my art.
Awesome. And it doesn't look like we had any more questions pop in there, so I'll go ahead and snag back the presenter abilities here. Bill, thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me here.
And then I'll just wrap up by just going back here to our social media. Feel free to link up with us there on social media, follow us on Facebook, and connect with us on LinkedIn. We'd love to connect with you on there. We're always posting industry updates, IMS updates, all kinds of things like that. So it's a great way to stay in the loop on any new happenings within the business. And as always, our phone number there, 800-255-5055. If you have any questions after today's webinar that we weren't able to get to, go ahead and give us a call here and check out our website, imsinc.com. We'd love to see you on there. And yeah, thanks again for the time today, Bill. Thanks to everyone for joining us, and have a great rest of your day and enjoy the weekend.
Appreciate it. Thanks again.